while. So yeah, it's been about 3 months now since I made a video. Life has kind of just been hectic, and as you guys know, the world has just only gotten more hectic. Not really gonna get into too much because that's not what we're here for. What we're here for is this car. I'm gonna be honest, in the last 3 months, I haven't really gotten a whole lot done, but I did get a couple things done. I installed these EGR block-off plates from Hard Motorsports, this heater hose block-off plate from Hard Motorsports, and then I also went ahead and blocked off these 2 water ports that connected to all the hose that went up underneath the intake manifold. In this video though, my plan is to get the engine out of the TI. So without further ado, I'm gonna get this thing up on jack stands, and then we're gonna work on getting the front end off of this thing. Yes, sir. All right, so while that's draining down below, I figured we'd hang out up here for a bit and start taking apart some of this stuff. Look at how nasty these screws are. That should probably give you an idea of how the rest of the car is looking. Come on. Oh, I didn't destroy the map. There we go. Now, nope. Nice. You know, I used to think these were like the craziest little things in the world, but they kind of just snap open. I used to be so scared to just like pry on these things for fear of breaking them, but like that, they just pop off. It's not too bad at all. Can't forget the hose that goes to the reservoir. Man, imagine having 3 hoses going to your radiator. Won't be me. Nice. All right, well that went pretty smoothly, I must say. Now we gotta work on getting this condenser out. You know, before I take this last bolt out actually, I should probably disconnect the lines that are going to the actual condenser. Thankfully, this car doesn't have any refrigerant in it. Beautiful. Okay, somehow I lost one of my 10 millimeters already. I mean, I got an extra one, but how does that happen? I have a toolbox here. This shouldn't be an issue. My toolbox is right there. I think I'm gonna do away with all this plastic stuff up front, so I think it's just gonna get ripped out, but maybe a little gently, you know? Get out of there. Silly goose. Alright, listen here, Bucky old pal. Alright, so I do have one question for anyone out here who might know. Is this purely just an ambient air temperature sensor? Like, does the engine ever look at this sensor to like maintain fuel trims or anything like that based on ambient temperature? I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you know. Because really, I want to get rid of pretty much every bit of electrical in here that I don't need and isn't necessary to actually running the engine. I want to make this engine bay look like chef's kiss, you know? All right, now let me be clear about something when it comes to taking off these side screws that connect to the fender. Don't just go blasting on this thing. I made that mistake when I was taking apart the green 318is, and I ended up stripping these out, and it ended up being a pain. What I found worked best, just give this thing a little blast with some heat. Because chances are this is gonna be somewhat seized up if it's never been touched before, so this will save you a little bit of headache, if anything. Now, don't use an impact on this, because that's just a bad idea. Don't touch any power tools when you go to do this. Just get a little ratchet, and break it loose. I'm not gonna touch that, that's probably pretty hot. Alrighty, so I got the screws off on both sides, got the screws off from the headlights that connect over to the unibody. This thing is barely holding on. Now all there's left to do is to drill out these little spot welds that go to the frame rails. You can kind of see a little indent. There's one here, and then on this side, you probably won't be able to see too well, right up there, there's another one. So we'll drill these out, and then this should just pop right off. Now that I'm looking at this, it looks like it actually has 2 spot welds. It has one right here, and it has one right here. Interesting. Hey, there we go. Wait a second. Oh, son of a biscuit. There was actually a second weld on this side. Thankfully that one came off a lot easier. Moment of truth. Oh, didn't disconnect the headlights from this side. What now? What is now? What? Oh, duh! Oh, duh! Oh my gosh. I did forget one last crucial part. And that last crucial part, the damn hood latches. Oh, hey, look at that. That just falls off now. Now that I'm done getting ahead of myself. Ta-da! No front end of the car now. Let's make everything a whole lot easier. In theory. With all of this out of the way, it's gonna make pulling this engine and transmission a whole lot easier. Speaking of transmissions though, I mentioned earlier how I took the engine and transmission out of the green 318 IS. Where did that transmission go? This is the transmission out of the 318 IS. This is gonna be going inside this car because if you guys remember at the last drift event I was at, when I made contact with my buddy Cameron in his 240, the car was just permanently stuck in gear. This car, the blue car, already had pilot bearing issues, so I'm assuming when we made contact, finally just broke everything up, and now, like I said, the car's stuck in gear. So, transmission out of the green 318 IS is going to be going in this car. Now you may be wondering, why am I not going with a ZF transmission? Well, first of all, ZFs are just a lot of money, and second of all, I don't really feel like sourcing a ZF. I've read online that the get reg transmission out of the 318s, 325s and all that, they should hold somewhere in the range of like 300 horsepower and probably around the same torque. So with the power that I'm going to be making for now, it should be plenty enough. And along with the fact that I'm going to be sticking with the get rag, I won't have to source a new front half of the drive shaft, and I also won't have to source a new selecting rod for the transmission. So it's going to cut down a lot on spending, and overall I just won't have to spend as much time trying to source parts. All right, so we've been working along a little bit. Got all the AC stuff disconnected from the firewall. I've been having a super hard time. The battery sits right here, and it's in a battery tray. This tie down that I've been using, which is just a stack of washers with the bolt going in, apparently it was in there too good, stripped the head, and couldn't get it out, so I had to break the box out, which is fine because I'm planning on relocating the battery back into the trunk or behind the passenger seat, something like that. But next thing I'm gonna do, just gonna disconnect the entire engine harness from the fuse box, the DME, and then we're just gonna kind of lay it on top of the engine, and then we'll kind of just go from there. That should give us room to get this up out of the way. And we already got the main power wire off. We got the main relays off. Boom. Nice. Okay, that's everything disconnected from the fuse box. There we go. Flip up. And pop out. What the fuck is that extra wire? What? What the fuck is that? Do you have that on your car?
No.
I have no clue what that fuse is. Or not fuse, but that relay. This is the most unorganized way. We should have done this first.
True.
Wow. This is like the cleanest paint on the car. Yeah, there's... Alrighty, next order of business. Gabe is gonna get working on getting the cowl off so we can get the... He's gonna work on getting the cowl off so that we can get the engine harness disconnected from everything. And then while he's doing that, I'm gonna get the power steering situation figured out. There we go.
Oh,
I knew that was gonna happen too. I knew that was gonna happen. I literally.
I saw those.
Dude, I know, I saw it too, but I still did it. Oh. Oh, that just, something splooged on me. Do I have something on my face? See, it's nice being able to pull an engine apart without, like, actually having to worry about the parts on the engine. Oh, wait, I'm dumb. They just pushed it through this way. Oh yeah. Hey. I love when things work out with brute force. I could have just cut the cruise control cable. I don't know why I tried to keep that. Nice. You want to tackle that? Just 2 nuts? Easy nut? I'll take care of the 2 nuts that are on the secondary air pump. Oh, wait, shit. No, we do still have more to disconnect. Oh, this is gonna get deleted anyways. Okay, so. This man. Do it, just do it. Back to what I was saying. This little doodad down here, that goes to what I believe is the charcoal canister. I'm gonna be deleting the whole charcoal canister system when I do the engine swap, just because I don't want to have some big ass fucking canister sitting in the engine bay, and it just takes up space, and it's just emission stuff. Oh, my finger again! Well, that's taken care of. That's not connected to the engine anymore. That can just chill down below. Okay, this though, so there's a plug on the bottom, I think. Yep, that's off now. That, sick. I think this actually just pulls, oh. Nice. And just like that, we have pretty much everything in the engine bay disconnected. I know there's a ground strap over here on this engine mount that we'll take care of probably tomorrow. Yeah, we got this rear cover for the blower motor off just to give us more clearance to get the engine out. And actually, there's a hoist point back there. You won't be able to see it, but I'll show you when we go to do it tomorrow. I do have one question for anyone that knows. I noticed that the cabin air filters are chilling in here, but there's not like covers on them. Are there supposed to be covers on those? Because like it kind of seems like it. But yeah, like I said, we'll do this stuff underneath the car tomorrow, and then tomorrow we're actually gonna pull the engine. So yeah, I'll see you guys then.